A very good morning, fellow Nigerians across the globe. As always, I am George Onyibe. And this morning, I want to reach out to my Abo people, my Eka people, Anyoma people, of course, talking about Usimiri, Ndukwa, Anyocha, Ikwere people, and the entire ethnic groups within the concept and idea of Nigeria. You see, there is a lot of changes and transformation taking place, but not everybody is fully aware. But then those of us who are aware of the change we are going through, dispensationally, I should say, must pay attention to what we are changing into. It must be our desire, our influence. It must be what we want, not what they want us to change into. My father once told me, now that you are growing into a young man, you need to be very careful what you are changing into. Because there are particular years we get to in life. Ultimately, we become who we are going to be for the rest of our lives. And today, as Nigerians, a lot of things are going on in diverse way, in different form and shape. We have promised to continually expose the hidden agenda behind every smile, the mindset behind every charity, what they truly mean when they present themselves to be moral individual, because this is a time where people will begin to chase the glittering and ignore the diamond. We are living in an era where people will prefer the cheer, the like they see on Facebook and ignoring the truth. And so this morning we are looking at a message I simply titled, Defining Our Boundaries is the only guarantee that we will have peace. Let's start from here. If you check across every state in Nigeria, there are people who are crossing their boundary. They could call themselves Fulani headsmen. They could call themselves or hide under any umbrella. But it's obvious that these people sometimes are supported by the military. They are ravaging everywhere. There is ongoing demolition of houses in Benin. And it's not very clear why the army are demolishing those buildings. I do not judge them yet. But it is said, according to the indigenous from that community, that the army are dragging their land with them to give to Fulani headsmen. And if this be true, the army need to review their status quo. If you go across Nigeria, these Fulani headsmen are killing everybody. Because they don't know their boundary. They don't have boundary. And if you don't define your boundary for them, you will not have peace. Maybe this will give you a clearer picture of what is coming, the change we are going through. They are everywhere. You can't go to farm. You are not free in your place. And this is only possible because they end up having the support of those in the security agent. And so from the north to the west, to the south, to the east, to every part of the geopolitical zone in Nigeria, you have them ravaging everybody. But come to look at it, what do they want? They want our land by force. That is what they always ask for, land and water. That is the offering they always want from you. And anybody that makes such demand for your land and your water ultimately is calling for your life. Don't make any mistake about it. They want your land. And this your land, you must give it to them whether you like it or not. And this your land, they are going to use it to do their own personal business. But under a fair contest, we travel across Nigeria where they allow us to settle down. Some of them will not allow you to have peace in their region, like Igbo Biafra people. But they are not killing you. They will frustrate you. In fact, you will wish you are dead. And that is why you hardly see non-Igbo indigenous settle down, build a house, marry, live peacefully in Igbo Biafra land. And the same thing is replicated by the Hausa Fulani. Is it the Fulani headsmen? They are coming to everybody's community, despite the fact they don't disturb us in their own. And they must take your land. The government of the day must support them or keep quiet. And now they are ravaging everybody. But these things will continue until you define their boundary. We define our boundary. We may not have peace. And so while we are focusing on Igbo Biafra, identity thieves, those who have embarked on cultural genocide, don't forget that they are not the only one. Can the Nigerian army come out and tell us as our one Nigeria why they are demolishing, why they are even dragging land? I lived in Rivers State so many years. There was a time the Rumomoi people, the Rumo-Ola people, the Omoirusi people, even within the Rumu-Igbo axis, started demanding for land from the Nigerian army. That should be 82 Division at Buri Camp. The pressure was high. But the army there, they yielded to the community. Because I remember I have a friend who is from Rumomoy. The army cut part of Buri camp and gave back to the community. And I remember when the community shared that land. Imagine a whole community of Rumomoy. That my friend who was much younger then was given a half plot. And what I'm telling you should be around 2001 or thereabout. But that guy sold that half of plot for almost 7 million as far back as 2000. That is to tell you the value of the land. And the army gave it back to the community. After all, it belonged to the community before Ojukwu collected it as the Governor General of Old Eastern Region. These are rare cases where you see the army removing hand, making peace. After all, we give them the land to protect us. But that the army are the one using their power to go and demolish people's building because of Fulani headsmen, all of you continue. God will see all of us too. But having said that, this is an open threat, it's an open danger. We are seeing it. And if you have filled their venom, if you have tested of their evil, I know you will never be happy. But it's very minor. They will rebuild that house. The memory will die down. A lot of changes will take place. But there are things, the end result, we have not bargained for. But then, you should also as well look back to the South-South region. A worse crime than that of Fulani is unfolding. I have called the people of South-South. Our idea of unification is not because I want to inherit you. I want to control you. I want to dominate you. I want to become your boss, the richest tribe, the most intelligent. No. The idea is for us to stand together because of Igbo Biafra people. Because the difference between them and Fulani headsmen is that Fulani headsmen attack, they unalive you immediately. But these people, they will unalive you and they will sell your body pass. Nothing more, nothing less. I do not force anybody to come and be Agbo. And nobody can force me to be what I am not. Yes, we evolved. Yes, we change. But we are not defining our boundary. If you see when I make broadcast, I don't talk much about Akwa Ibom people, despite the fact that I know that there are Agbo people under the umbrella of Ibibio, Efik, and Anang. They are Eka people. I hardly talk about them because they've moved on. If they want to remain Agbo, let them come home. I have to talk about Ebake, for instance, in Edo State. The Agbo people, the Eka people. But if the next generation of their people will allow Igbo people, Biafra people, Igbo Biafra to deceive them and become Igbo, maybe when Biafra come, they will be Igbo. Maybe their own country will become Ataramekara or Ndingwelenuche. And then maybe that will become another extension of Igbo. As we now have Igbo in Equatorial Guinea, Igbo in Israel, Igbo in Kafanchan, Igbo in Costa Rica, a people without shame. I just needed them to see what is going on. And don't talk about Ogoni people so much. And this is because these people have made up their mind. They have drawn their boundary. You see Ejo, you see Urobo, you see Shekiri, you see Ogoni, you see Akwa Ibom. These people have drawn their boundary. If you cross it, let us pray that you have peace in the face of God. That is when you will go unhurt. That is when you will be welcome. Because they have defined their boundary, not for evil. And that is why when I talk about them, I allow them to talk about their own. But those of us from Southeast, you are on social media, you are a blogger, you are looking for life. Define your boundaries. You need to define your boundary, or else you will not have peace. Lately, I am seeing one Akwa Ibom boy now telling us the history of Agbo people. I shook my head. If you are from Agbo, Eka, come closer. Let me tell you the history of Eka people that has not been told. The history. Akwa Ibom man won't tell Agbo man in history. If you know that guy, tell him to move out from there. All these things are hazardous. They are dangerous. You should not entertain them. If I must talk or tell the history of Benin, I am doing it on one condition. And that is because that history has something to do with me. I don't patronize anybody. Go and ask Igbo people, Biafra once, when I was doing Biafra with them. You know the problem they have with me. They can't change my stance. You can't compromise me. If I yield, I yield. Go and ask them. Despite the fact that the agitation was not something Nigerians welcome, yet I will not allow them to cross anybody's path because they want to prove a point. And so any issue they know, I know, they coordinate themselves. But by the time I left, what happened? They start raping, killing, and because I will not allow China Sanguru to do that. All these people you call unknown gunmen, they will not try it. They will not try it because they were law and order. If I hear PEM, Justice Today will answer for it to mention but a few names. And that is because we define our boundary. If we want fight war, let's fight war now. You don't want war, you are looking for problem. You don't want fight, and you are the one calling for fight. That is when they say trouble, they sleep. And Yanga come weaken. You don't wound the animal you cannot kill. And why am I saying it? We open our eyes, somebody will come out to get like, and I say, let me tell you the history of Igbo people that nobody want to talk. I'll tell you as it affects me, whether good or bad. Whether good or bad. And so that Akwa Ibom boy going about to give the history of Igbo people. Please stop it. You are deceiving yourself. Stop it. You are insulting the memory of our ancestors. You are insulting the whole Igbo people, the whole Eka people. Whether or not. But I don't blame you because you learned it from Igbo people. Igbo people are on the internet telling you the difference between Owa and Agbo. Igbo people, this is what they do. They will say, yes, tomorrow I will tell you the history of Agbo and Owa. Please, if you are from there, come and make your contribution. Come and they pretend they are rubbishing your image, your lineage. They are rubbishing you. Who are the Igbo people to tell me the history of my father? Not to talk of Akwa Ibom telling me the history of my father. Abuna no get sense. I know some of you will see this video. The best thing you can do is to ignore me. There are some of you I have confronted in time past. You used to be my friend. You ignore me. You are boning me. I love boning. I love boning. But I don't look for problem. Stay there. You will stay there very long. But some of you will think you have sense. Because I did not mention your name now. I will mention your name and I will dedicate time to you. Stop. If you are not Agbo person, don't give us history of Agbo. Except you are talking a relationship between us and your people. Stop telling us who we are. Yes, it's obvious. We are sleeping. The next generation of our people may not know the truth. But that is our job, not your job. There are so many histories of Benin I have given out. And this is because it affects me. The Omo of Okpana, I'm trying to correct this heresy. This destruction of history. When interviewed before her demise by Igbo Biafra unity beggars, she gave them history based on extensive knowledge because she's educated, well-read, well-traveled, not like this or more of Obio who want to shine on Facebook by hopelessness. The late Omo of Okpanam, and point of correction, that woman is not the latest Omo. We don't know her. She's Omo of their village. I am a descendant from the family of Inyese. Umunede stroke Kukwagbo. So don't tell me garbage. Until every Omoship throne is established within the Anyoma community, all of you Omo, your Omoship ended with the late Omo of Okpana. Until you people begin to do anything. Because you are now politicizing the future of your children. Just to get like on Facebook, Igbo people will buy you food, buy you money, blow your ego. You know, say I do uncompleted building. And then you think you are doing the right thing. You now want us to blame Buhari and Tinubu that they are suffering us. Whereas most of you, if you have the privilege, you will know that Tinubu is a saint. You say, I don't curse Tinubu. I never curse anybody again until the people are ready to define their boundary. The Omo Okpana rightly told them and said, see, the Europe you know today, some of them left to Germany, to Australia, to New Zealand, to America. And wherever they are, they remain Australian. There are British people in India. You have India, British, born Peking for India. British India. We have Indian people that are British. British, when they're pregnant Indian women, give birth to India. You will see them, you know they are British India. They are still in India. You never hear anybody say, we the British people, No, they are now Indians. Maybe you did not know up to now. Bob Marley is not a black man. It's not an African man. Except the mother lied to the father. Because the last time I checked, Bob Marley is a British man. Product of, let me not dishonor that man, that prophet. But we have accepted it. We don't reject our own. That is why we are black. That is why we are weak. We used to make allowance for each other's fault. We used to tolerate everybody. We are the true image, the true advocacy, the true gospel that the United Nations is preaching. But yet they undermine us because we fail to define our boundaries. We do not have access to nuclear warhead. We don't have ballistic missile. We don't have electronic magnetic pulse. We don't have iron drone. We have never attacked any nation as a black people. We have never gone to steal from any of them. We have lived on our own, most humiliated, most What have they not done to us? But yet, they look down on us because we have failed to redefine our boundary. The Omo of Okpana told them, Igbo people, go and put your house in order. Because they wanted her to say, you see, we are Igbo, this Igbo. Shake hand across River Niger under Biafra agitation. I was the one that invited the Omo of Okpana. They were there, along other dignitaries who thought Nnamdi Kanu have sense, until they discovered that he's a moron. Everybody back up. Go and ask David Umahi. And so if anybody have supported the Igbo cause more than the Igbo people as a woman, that is the Omo of Okpana. But she strictly told you, leave me as a Anyoma person, let me have peace. Because the memory of what Igbo Biafra people did to Chukwuma Nzogo, she has not forgotten. And if anybody defended the Igbo cause, if you are true to yourself, under the guise of Biafra, I was the loudest voice. And sometimes you need to begin to ask yourself question. Where did it all go wrong? You were thinking that way, you say, he's a thief, he's a criminal, he's a this one, you are disgracing me. I have told you people, there is no shame in the womb that gave birth to me. And it is not possible for any of you to do that. And now you have back on a journey of no return, because you're going to be on this path for a very long time. I promise you, considering the fact that I will outlive all of you, and I'm your destiny, and I'm your doom. But then there is another Omona coming to say, if you speak Bia, you are Igbo, you must be Igbo. Igbo is Igbo. In respect of where Igbo is Igbo. Una no get sense. Why are you people wicked? It is simple. Let's agree we are Igbo. When the foundation of Ohanaeze Ndigbo were laid, where are other supposed Igbo? When World Igbo Congress was congregating, where were the picture? Where did you take? I ask you, all of you in the Abo Anyoma Ikore people in diaspora, do these people call you in their meeting? I have heard it severally. Their mind denies us. But because of what they are aiming, they want to take it from us. This is how they rush to Obi of Owa. Obi of Owa, our people, before your Obi die, help him to retrace his step. Because what you have called upon yourself, you don't know. Our ancestors don't spare. I'm talking to those of you. You see that secretary running? I'm sorry. That's why you are running. You are not going to run anywhere. Obi of Owa is the longest sitting monarch in Nigeria. He is the longest sitting monarch in Nigeria. He has sat on that throne close to 5 decades, if not more. And he's old now. Very old. Obi Efezomo, Wamuezi Fenwa Bawata. He's very old. Within December till this very moment, I've approached the palace of Obi of Owa 4 different times. I have sent delegates on my behalf more than 10 different times. We have registered a lot of cultural organization group. We have gone to that palace because there are questions he need to answer. Our Abo people from Japan made arrangement to see him. Those in Asia nation, Japan, China. We wanted to see him by December. The secretary stopped us. So many wonyowa, a video. Germany secretaries, send him in number. But I want you to get something and then define your boundary. And then there is another group of Abo people in the Europe. All of them are concerned about a particular issue. Obi of Owa should tell us. But I understand the first daughter died some time ago. I understand he's very old and weak, but he's still selling. Today, our people are crying that they have taken over their land. Our people are protesting that they don't have land again. And if by any means Obi of Owa want to sell the future of Abo people, like any other Obi, you people should mark it. That is the end of dynasty, of kingship in our land. Because in here, this is what you people taught us. That was why when we see Den Obi of Agbo moving with small boys, he insult us. He insult us. Ordinarily, Obi of Asaba can't even summon Obi of Agbo. The same way Obi of Agbo can't even summon the Oba of Benin. But there's mutual respect. They're not in Oku because he's a politician. And you to need politician. Why him Obi Ijeda Zama we Guama rubbish. Well, we don't know the discussion you people have. But if we don't define our boundary, we're going to have issue. Most of you must have seen it. I need you to look at that interview made by Obi of Owa saying how they come from Undi. Some Abo people are in Abia State. There is a place in Abia State, they call it Umweka. Umweka should be between Osisioma and Obakala. And on the other side of it is Isia Langwa. Alesoti mother home. So happily, me and Alesoti, we are related because some Mwaka people, you people are not Abo people. In case you don't know Mwaka, the moment you move through Uwirinta, as if you are going to Imo State, the community where you have the naval base is Mwaka. All those people are Abo people. That is what Obi Owa said. Another cock and bull story. But let me tell you, The full video proves otherwise. There is a way you're having conversation with somebody. For instance, I want to talk of Eka people. The only thing I know about Eka people was that at a particular year, they left home, as always, in search of greener pasture. They used to return every year, but as time goes on, their children stop coming back home. From that archive record, after many years, they disconnected completely because their father who took them there, they married and intermarried, they have missed, they have moved on, just as we have found ourselves as Anyoma. And so, without forming a project, it doesn't make sense to now move to Eka and begin to say, Eka people, you people are Agbo people, you must be Agbo people. No, they have to communicate. We need to talk. A child that does not know the father, and all of a sudden you say, boy, this is your father. There is a lot of work to do. There will be so bonding. There will be questions to ask. There will be evaluation to make. And not all these areas or phases are addressed. It's going to be an unhealthy relationship. It's applicable in this matter. And I have heard somebody talking about the history of Agbo people and Owa people. Let me tell you. I come from a society that is very mature. In the Agbo, we may not be the richest tribe in Nigeria. And certainly we don't want to be that. We just want to be contented with what we have. That is why we don't do Olushu. We don't do baby factory. We don't do Yahoo passport. We don't push fake drug. We strive to live by principle and dignity. There are a lot of things that are not right about us. We are not perfect people. But we have tried by His grace to manage ourselves. I grew up as a child in Orogodo, knowing a very unique sentiment that exists among Agbo people. And if I tell you as an Agbo man, born and brought up in Agbo, that I know the cause of that quarrel perfectly, I lie. The division was so loud, but yet without a voice. And sometimes you see, these people will say Owa, and then Agbo will say Agbo. Because we are Boji Owa and Boji Agbo. I knew something was wrong. At the early stage of my life, the Owa people were backward. The Agbo people have so much, but they are the same people anyway. Invention of name want to confuse the next generation. And then Owa had hot temper. And so they constantly resist the pride of the Agbo people. And before you know, Owa start growing staunch. Today, the development that Owa people have seen in less than 10 years, I think it has taken Agbo more than 70 years to attain to where they are. Because Owa people did not relent. Ukowa, former governor Isowa, and so many of them, they did not relent. But in the midst of this misunderstanding, I have never been in any gathering when they say, no, Owa people come and stay here, Agbo people come and stay here, because it was lately I even knew the word Eka. I won't tell you all these people's history so that they can be disgracing themselves on social media and telling our history. But I beg you, in the Agbo, honde ne wule in the Agbo guano, bianing guano history no, e gone ne went in Johi Kwewo, in Johi Wechono Razon Loba Imemolo. Inya Ninjile Nira Guano Yende Nileone, Iba Emolo long wime. In you are sorrow, ne only bodies are going in the history in the Agbo, was so. Or we so nyakwa bon ro biano yano history in the Agbo. What are the pampers? Those boys are wearing pampers. They are telling you your history. And so, like I was saying, I don't say these things. If I begin to call you, I just need you to retrace your step. Because when you have finally reached the end of the road, we will not spare you. It's not a threat, it's a promise. We will give you back to what you have given so far. That is why we call on your attention. Stop it. I went to a palace in Alehame, and we were having conversation about the Eka. One of the members in the palace just rejected that name. He said, no talk about that Eka in here, no talk about the Eka in here. This is Andiabo. And I said, why is it like that? And he said, because Eka was like, they forming it like Anyoma, a lot of issue came up. But so far, the only thing I know is that I don't want their name to die under Eka. Agbo don't want their name to die under Eka. You can hear Obi of Agbo telling you that we are not Eka people. All of them want their name to be resounding. It is applicable to the same thing in Anyoma. Everybody is perceiving from Anyoma. Because if you say we are now Anyoma, Ndokwa will die. The name Osimiri will die. The name Anyocha will die. The name of Eka or Agbo or Owa will die naturally. They still want to hold on to it. But I have no issue with that. Most especially now that we don't have our own dictionary. Now we don't have a cultural institution. Now we don't have anything to even validate our history or whatever we know. If this generation are gone, this Igbo Biafra propaganda will destroy all of us. You think they don't know what they're doing? I asked a question in a forum. I said, do we have a dictionary? Because an Igbo brother, this one is not Igbo Biafra, an Igbo brother who is carrying out a research on my broadcast called me and said, please, do you people have Agbo or Ika dictionary? I have to trust the guy because these people are not Igbo people, but they have been conquered by Igbo people. And everything I say, they are learning from it and they are asking questions. You think we're coming here to joke? Issues that involve life and death. Nobody have answered. All the forum I dropped, nobody have answered. And tomorrow you go to Catholic Church, they now be when saw Maria, Alpha Maria, Nwa Maria, Why can't they say it on Abo? Elen women saw Maria. But you will not understand. And so I would dare not come out and begin to give you this history. How Abo photo, how this is everybody maintain his school. Nde ba ke judele ni ne dio no. Kuala ndi obi Abo no nwa ikpe. Unu no so no ke so ndi du. Unu anu onye kpo no no, unu anu onye bu no no, unu anu onye gwo no ihe ole. Ka ni na elele de kodo re mekike nwura. Le nwa ndu nu rebi alidu. Yele ndu ndi oza no gogo rebi ali Agbo. Ya gwenye ho kama anu obi Agbo le jim ovia jedatone we school. Ye we miri no re ni we ma. Ka ndi nu ndi du we yenyima ka no so nu ke so ndi du. Anyi le okohu no yenyimare kwa o. But we have moved on. As a child, when we leave our region, outside the manipulation of Bendel Igbo, Delta Igbo, Hausa Igbo, Yoruba Igbo, when you meet a true son of Eka, a true son of Agbo, Owa, Ebake, Uteromo, Utalin here, all of you, Tuluku, Akomazi, and Yochamu, all of you, Ndi Agbo, no Ranu here, Raso. You don't come out and say, I'm from Otoluku. Because many Agbo people don't even know where is Otoluku. Or you say, I'm from Alagwa. Many Agbo people don't know the community they call Alagwa. And you say, I'm from Ewuru. Many people don't know the community of Agbo called Ewuru. Not to talk of Ekmo. But this is how it goes. We all say we are from Agbo. We barely use the word Eka. When we use the word Eka, it's like you just want to drag all of us in a picture. But easily we say, I'm from Agbo. And then the next question you will answer is, which part of Agbo? And then you begin to say, Ngonya Lehame, Ngonyu Munede, Ngonya Mbili, Ngonya Moho. That is how it used to be, Ngonya Kwoma. But look at people who don't know us are telling our story. Very soon now, they will tell you that Obi Ali is not the same thing with Tobu Obi. These are going to be Igbo people and people who are not our people. And then the question should go, where are you people, Agbo people? Uno amane no talo kanshi. And you John with Dominion remove Unuro Neguro, content creator, and I say like, where could Sony Yapomeka, where could Soleni Yapoma we? But what damage are they doing to the mind of our people? What the army is doing in Benin is a child's play compared to this entertainment they are giving you on social media. But everything I'm telling you boils down to one thing. If you do not define your boundary, you will not have peace. Now, how do you define your boundary? Number one, you see anybody coming who is not Agbo person, coming to give you the history of Agbo people. Not in connection with anything that have to do with them. My brother, define boundary for them. They are evil people. They are contractors. Just that you don't know who they are working for. Even when I was in Radio Biafra, I never spoke for anybody. I used to have news in different language. That is where people like Ife, Josephine Erewa, and so many others came up. Because talk your own, make I talk my own. That is the problem I have with Igbo Biafra people. They want to give you my history. Agbo is Igbo, you must be Igbo, Ikwere is Igbo, and they are spending money to make me. And you think it's for nothing? Come and take me. Igbo people, when I do on a Radio Biafra, and I know they see news in different language. Talk your own, I talk my own. Don't tell me my history. When you use your history to destroy my history, and it's a force, I will counter you. If it's a force, I will counter you. And this is because I love fight. I don't love fighting. I am fight itself. So whether I'm fighting or I'm not fighting, as you are seeing me, you are seeing fight. So why we fight? But if we leave these lies unrevealed, in a time where there are different sounds of hypocrites everywhere, a lot of damage will be done. The moment you begin to hear different sound, that should be the book of 1 King. Nebuchadnezzar built a very big image and told Shadrach, Meshach, and Abednego and said, when you shall hear the sound of the trumpet, of the strings, of the guitar, of the keyboard, of the drum, the samba, the agogo, when you hear the sound of all these things, bow down and worship. These are the sound you are hearing. Akwa Ibom person telling you history of Agbo is the sound of agogo. Igbo person telling you the history of Agbo is the sound of Udu. When they pay people money to come and build, is the sound of Yeye. When you hear all this sound of rubbish, hydraulic, useless, hopeless music, Agbo is Igbo, Anyama is Igbo, Ikwere is Igbo, my dear, pay attention and do not bow for them. And what happened? They were thrown into the fire. Did they die? We are in the fire already. We're making enemies that is not supposed to be there. But we will not bow down because we know how it will end. All the wise boys that were supposed to be trained in the service of the king Nebuchadnezzar, all of them bowed except 4 of them, or rather 3 of them. And 3 of them outlived them. And that is why I constantly tell Igbo Biafra people, I will outlive all of you. Except I soil my hand. Except I played game with you. And so, for all of us as Agbo people or sub-Igbo group to be safe, define your boundary. Economically define your boundary. Let me explain to you. Do you know that Agbo people cannot sell their corn, the corn they farm now, without intervention of Igbo people? Yeah, they have business strategy. I was looking at a video from Cross River State. And then one woman was lamenting and said that they do garri. That some Igbo people come from the neighboring state to buy their garri. That they have a union in their market where they buy garri. Once they come, they will be going about the market. They will be pricing the garri, but they will not buy. They will do that till the end of the day. Towards evening, most of them don't have transport fare to carry the garri back home. So they must sell. He said towards evening, Igbo people begin to buy the garri at giveaway price. These people don't have choice. The woman was lamenting. A boy used it to make video. And then another Igbo boy come to counter it and condemn that thing. But I know the truth. A people who have market union in your community and you want to buy and sell in your community, no, be behaving like a good man. They rob you indirectly because you did not define your economic boundary. They will come to your place with a nylon bag. They will buy all your community, buy your father grave, buy everything. Only one thing will save all of you. No, 2 things. That is number 1, because they planned against you as a fellow Nigeria. When you mean them no harm, they are planning evil for you. Karma will catch up with them. And number 2, your line of defense is law. So the moment you begin to draw your boundary, the better. Look at Lagos State. They started hyping it. Lagos is no man land. Lagos is no man land. If Yoruba have not acted, you'll be hearing today, Lagos is Igbo land. This area is for Igbo people. They are the only one doing this one, and Fulani herdsmen who want to take land by force. But let's focus on them. You know, I started with Fulani herdsmen. But what did Yoruba people do? They redefined the economic position of Igbo people. Number 1, most of the places that used to answer Igbo name, they changed it to Yoruba name. Adi Amakwama, Owonecha Gwaroboshi or Boshi Gwaronecha. They changed it. They moved into the street. All the street that were answering Igbo name, they begin to change it. And you see what they are planning now is political oro. They shout, Igbo are riches, Igbo are this one. By the time they hit you political oro, you know what is oro, those of you in Lagos? You would know the damage you are doing to yourself. Your pride, your arrogancy, your scalawanes. You don't want to have sense. Continue. Drop your insult too. So in your place, such union must be overseen by an indigene, or else they control your market. It should be about 2 years now. I went to Ekwoma, and they were having 2 crises for corn farmers. Number 1 was that Fulani herdsmen are not allowing them to go to the farm anymore. And then the number 2 thing was that the corn they farmed that year, they couldn't sell it. I tried moving it from Ekwoma to Abo, to Port Harcourt, because there are many people who will need it. But the transportation cost will bring the value of the corn to nothing. And from every investigation, forensic of course, conducted, shows that this Igbo Biafra Union has hijacked the market. They buy it and send to other parts because they have the union that enables them to do that. And so when they come to your farm, you know after that day, it's no longer fresh corn. After 1 week, it's only good for reserving. And they are not coming to buy fresh one. They are coming to buy reserve one. So the more it stays in your hand and become useless, the more profit they will make. And you would have loved to reserve it, but you don't have preserving facility. And so they almost sold their corn anyhow. The way they say, go back to the farm, go back to the farm. Have you defined your land economically? I said it, tell Jim Ovia that when he dies, people will never remember that he is the founder of Zenith Bank. You see, those people used to surround themselves. He better begin to make plan now. We're following all of you. We're looking at all of you. I see my brother Emperor this morning. He was calling what is his name? Why is his name escaping me? CBN Governor Emefiele. He was calling on Emefiele. So he won't yabo. I'm only then he won't yabo because Emefiele power entered his head. And ordinarily, we can be shouting in as much as we are not in support of what Nigeria is doing to Emefiele, what Tinubu is doing to Emefiele, because he was not the only person who stole the money. But yet we are not going to fight and tell you, oh, it's like this, oh, it's like that. No, we're not going to do that. Because in the end, whatever is going on is going on. So, we must define our economic space. We must define our economic space. I'll tell you the truth. We look at culturally. If we don't define it, they will be dishing out lie and talking rubbish. Let's look at culturally. I know a lot of things that are indigenous Agbo. Indigenously, it belongs to us. And then all of a sudden, you hear, oh, this is Igbo cap. Oh, this is Igbo cutlass. Oh, this is Igbo this one. Oh, this is Igbo soup. And you will keep quiet. My brother, you will counter them and say, no. Tell them the history. Today, they have claimed Akwachani. If they have known the code behind that dressing, they will be flaunting it openly. People who claim Europe winter cap, who claim Europe Akwochi. You local man, you the poorest tribe, illiterate tribe, you are the one keeping quiet. Be keeping quiet. You define yourself religiously. You define your boundary. My king is a pastor in Redeemed Christian Church. And I went to the palace one day regarding an issue. And they said, before we continue, normal protocol, are you a Christian, Muslim, or pagan? You understand those stuff? I said, I am a traditionalist and I'm a Christian. And that is just to pass a message to my king. See, me, I be Christian like you, but we must stand on the tradition of our ancestors because that is what put you there. The chief, they laugh, they nearly die. And I'm sure most of them did not understand what I meant. I'm a Christian and a traditionalist. They say, I know one is like that. I say, but that is who I am now. That is Arosin Ejo Kauburukundibu. That is who I am now. Because before you start quoting Bible for me, inside tradition, there no right Agbo for Bible, so I no go agree. I never see and Jesus trek to Agbo. I have faith in Jesus, he will not violate it. But there is a limit to that faith. The one I cannot process spiritually and physically doesn't go. After everything in the Bible is not the same. The Bible has been written for so many ways. People who even wrote the Bible, some of them are not Christians. You know the history of King James, so let's not go to that King James. Go to NIV, New International Version. It is written by Zundavan. Zundavan is the pastor of the Church of Satan. Zundavan is the author of the Joy of Jesus. He is the one who translates the Bible for you to understand. And you don't know some chapters and verses of the Bible have been omitted. And then they add their own. Is that the one you want me to follow to the later because the later kill it and follow to the spirit? Leave those bullshit. Leave all those things. We will not challenge the creator, but we know the truth. So, culturally, you must define your boundary. And in the when you see no money, no matter how they hide. Anywhere they follow, confront them. I can go on and on and on. If you want to understand, or you understand. If you don't want to understand, no, trying to make them feel you look good, you are a good man. Good people is, you will not understand. Maybe one day I will teach you about that. The justice system is not even meant to give you justice. It is meant to remind them that there are people who think like them. Let me give you just that answer. When you say give us justice, the people who give you standard of justice don't want justice for you. They just want to constantly remind themselves that you want to know what they know, they will bring you down. That is why when you are a poor man, you steal. They will call you thief. Thief, he stole 2,000. He stole. Once they say he stole, no, you are a thief, small thief. But the real armed robbers, you hear he looted. Have you heard Abacha thief? But you hear Abacha loot. Who wouldn't want to be a looter? Get it and have peace. All these things they are doing. He said that they are monetizing their page, looking for share and buy. But the danger is that they are distorting our history and will mislead the next generation of our people in the nearest future if we don't act. And ultimately, we need to form a union. I've been calling on those involved. Everybody must be invited, but not all of you are needed. Everybody must be invited. Because if you are not called, you will not enjoy it. You will not be there. You can be best of my friend. We know what is obtainable. But if somewhere along the line, you are led, we need to form union. We need to form movement. We call it South-South movement. But you see Bendel State, all of you wake up. We say South-South union because we know our brothers who scattered across South-South. But it's not in our place to begin to drag them. Oh, Ikwere is Sagbo. Kapipo is Sagbo. All of them is Sagbo. Onyamum. Was I there when Elechi Martin told them the blatant truth, undeniable, that they actually came from the Benin? Was I there when the time for the truth will come? Nothing will stop his deliverance. And if you are interested in trying to set up this union to curtail the excesses of these expansionists who are invading our land and carrying out genocide of indifferent nature, inbox me. We are moving out already. It's not a big deal. There is one hard knot we need to crack. And once we crack that knot, we will know who is the voiceless and who have the voice. I'm George Onibe from the Completed Building. Let me go to the comment section, receive some tablet of insult so I will have energy to work today. Yes, I see Johnson Best. I greet you, Johnson Best. Good morning from here. I see Different Blackie. Good morning, Different Blackie. I see Benjamin Okpara. I see George Onibe. Otto, Mama, Otto Tuoma. Okay. I greet you, my brother, Benjamin Okpara. I see Chief KD Oliver. He said, do good, that good will follow you. Amen. Chief, I agree with what you are saying now. Do good, that good will follow you. Amen. The good I do in Igbo Biafra, I have seen where it lead me to. Chief, just try and find out about me. Sometimes you look like you are a genuine person, but Igbo blood still running you, which I don't blame you. But that Igbo blood inside your Igbo blood, remove it. Do good, that good will follow you. All the good I do for Igbo people, I know what it cost me. Let me give you brief history. It cost me some of my car. They are still with the DSS, Port Harcourt facility. It cost me some days in prison, Port Harcourt Maximum Prison. It cost my school, Juniper Academy. It's no longer there. He took my church away from me, Sanctuary of God Church. It's gone. He took away my factory, Royal Pivas. It's gone. Should I continue to mention the good I do for Igbo people? Is it series of poisoning? Is it the blackmail? All these things will follow you back. All of you who come out and insult me because I tell you that Nnamdi Kanu and some idiot Igbo people don't have sense, and you think you will descend on me, all those things will follow all of you. I think unknown government is pursuing you now, because you people were the one killing other people. Now the unknown government you are using to kill other people has started following you people. So try and insult me. Come straight so that I can be able to respond to you very well. So where are they? Where are they? Insulting people of Nnamdi Kanu. Are they not there anymore? Are they not there? I need insulting people of Nnamdi Kanu. You know, they think they are the one who know how to insult. So I greet you, Uyi, Mercy. I greet all of you. I greet all of you. So much message here. I will not be able to attend to all of them, but no issues. I'll respond in the comment section. I'll sign off from here. All of you have a nice day. Igbo Biafra, drop your insult. Define your boundary. In your marriage, define your boundary. In your home, define your boundary. In anywhere you find yourself, define